Have you ever noticed how some entrepreneurs just seem to have a magical ability to convert prospects into buyers while everyone else is begging for sales and they're turning away clients? The secret isn't charisma or luck. No, it's understanding what makes people tick. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 8 powerful psychological triggers that can transform your conversion rates overnight. These aren't theories, these are battle-tested tactics that we've used to help hundreds of businesses multiply their sales without increasing ad spend. And these are tips and tricks that we use ourselves to scale my agency to over $1 million plus a year in sales. So are you ready to tap into the buying brain? Let us dive in with number 1. The number 1 tip is the scarcity effect, also known as FOMO. Fear of missing out. Now, we value what we might lose access to, and it's hardwired into our survival instincts. When something feels abundant, we love to procrastinate, but as soon as it becomes scarce, that's when we start to take immediate action. So how can you leverage this? Let me give you some examples. Under a button or a call to action, you can have something like only 5 spots remain in this month's coaching program, or early bird pricing disappears at midnight, or this is a limited edition. Once it's gone, they're gone forever. And these really work. And just last month, we helped a client fill their entire 500-person masterclass in just a couple of days using strategic scarcity. The waitlist hit 600 people because suddenly everyone wanted what they couldn't have. And that brings me on to point number 2. The second psychological effect is social proof plus authority bias. Humans are pack animals. We look to others for guidance on what's valuable, especially when those others have credibility. Put this to work by showcasing, real customer testimonials with specific results. Maybe you can have case studies with tangible metrics, or have industry expert endorsements, or, Trustpilot reviews or reviews that say things like trusted by X thousand customers worldwide. So one of our clients, Remote Cleaning Academy, displays how they scaled from 200K to $1 million a month in revenue using our conversion system. That's a testimonial and a case study that we have on our website. And that single proof point converts more prospects than any other list or any other, this is what I do ever will. Remember, people love authority, they love reviews. And you would know this yourself. When you go to Amazon to shop, the first thing you look at is the reviews. You will not buy a product on Amazon that has 1 or 2 reviews and 3 stars. But you will always go for the product that has 4 stars and maybe a couple hundred reviews for it. And that's on purpose. That's why reviews is such a big thing. And if you bring that into the world of coaching, when you have video testimonials and someone sees others achieving the exact results that they want, the sales becomes almost automatic. You have pre-sold them, and the only reason to jump on a sales call is to literally just push them to the edge and just take their money. All right, that moves me to the third psychological rule, and that is the reciprocity principle. Now, this might be the most powerful force in human psychology. When someone gives us something valuable, we feel compelled to return the favor. If you're familiar with a very famous business entrepreneur on YouTube, Alex Hormozi, this is something he loves to do, and that's why he has millions of followers and everyone loves him, because he just throws value in the air. And you can do the same by implementing certain types of offerings, such as, high value free training that actually solves a problem. Maybe you could do some comprehensive industry reports that have research time, or maybe you can do personalized audits that reveal hidden opportunities. Sometimes when I open my calendar sometimes in the week, I just do open consultation calls. People can book in and I'll have literally a one-on-one value-driven consultation call, and I'm not trying to hard sell them. I'm just giving them free value. And that is the key. Your free value must create a genuine wow moment. And when prospects think, I can't believe they gave this away for free, that's when they'll wonder what your paid offerings must be worth. And that's when you can hook them in and get them to spend the big bucks. Now remember, you're not just marketing, you're beginning a relationship on a genuine value exchange. And that is the best way to start any relationship before any transaction happens. That brings me to psychological effect number 4, the anchoring effect. The first number people see becomes their reference point for all subsequent pricing. Deploy this strategy by showing your standard rate before revealing the special offer, or maybe creating premium packages that make your mid-tier option feel like a bargain. And actually SaaS products and SaaS companies do this very well. They'll have multiple tiers where the middle tier is always like the cash cow. That's the premier product, and they make one a bit too cheap and not too many offerings. They make one too expensive, but the middle one is just like perfect. Like, you know what? I don't need the most expensive one, but I want to go for the middle one. Or, you know what, the second tier is only like a couple bucks more, let me just go for that. And maybe you are fallen for that many times. It is a psychological trick that we do. And the final and third one could be something like comparing your solution's cost to the much higher cost of the problem. Now, to just give you some examples, like personally, we've seen conversion rates double simply by adding a premium tier that was never intended to sell. It just makes the target offering feel like an obvious choice. And you've probably seen this so many times. Like I said, there'll be two options. One will be the actual offer, and one will be like some ridiculous prices, maybe 2 times as expensive. But the idea is for people to be like, no, that's too expensive, I'm going for the cheaper one. But that was the plan all along. Now, you must be thinking, man, this is manipulation. Well, actually, this isn't manipulation. It's helping customers understand relative value in a world of endless opinions and everyone just trying to do everything. That brings me to the 5th point, the power of because. Now, the human brain craves logical reasoning, even when the reason is surprisingly simple. So to use the psychological effect, strengthen your offers by always following claims with specific reasoning. You know, don't just say, I'll generate you 90 clients in 120 days. What do you do and what separates your business that allows you to actually reach that result? Another one could be using the actual word because in your copy. So again, the reason you will achieve X is because of this, and this is what we do that no other company can help you with. And a third one is providing clear rationale for deadlines or limitations. And actually, this is so important for managing expectations prior to working with clients. If you've worked with a client and they come in and they want the world and you can't give it to them, that third one is definitely a way to manage expectations along the way, whether you have it on the site, maybe it's on the FAQ of the funnel, or maybe it's on the sales call itself. Let me give you a real life example with one of the funnels we did recently. So it was a webinar funnel where we were trying to get people to join for a coaching program and learn about it. And under the call to action, we had a very specific, heading saying we're limiting enrollment to 50 people because our coaches can only provide quality feedback to a limited group. Now, by saying that, you can imagine how quickly, first of all, those positions filled up, but the people who joined were actually more willing to spend because these were high intent leads. They were ready to put the work in, show up, and expect, to come out of it purchasing something and working with these coaches who were there to help them, knowing that not everyone will have access to these coaches. Now, even obvious explanations dramatically increase compliance and conversion, and our brains are wired to respond to casualty. So just be casual, don't try to over-complex. And this is something I see a lot of funnels doing that I don't like. You go to them and you see headings and they're so random and just don't make sense. Keep it simple, keep it casual, be real, have a real element in it. And using words like because, you will get this because of this, or we only take this amount because of this amount. It just creates that more realism in it, and you're not trying to basically mug them or try to scam them into buying your product. All right, let's move over to the 6th trick, and that is commitment and consistency. So once someone takes a small step in your direction, they're significantly more likely to take larger steps later. And in the funnel world, we call this a continuous funnel or a ascension program. Basically, to be able to do something like this, you want to start with micro commitments. Maybe you can give them a free PDF or engage them in a micro quiz or a free community that they have access to. Again, giving them value. Literally a YouTube video like what you're watching right now. This is a micro commitment, all you need to do is spend a few minutes of your time watching my videos and you're gaining value from it. Then you can follow up with medium commitments, and that could be something like, oh, attend my free webinar or fill out this application to see if, we can help you out, things like that. Then finally, once you've gone through the second step, then you can start asking for major commitments, and that could be purchases. And a realistic example for this could be if you are a coach. The first kind of commitment could be, here's a free PDF or a free coaching program on how to, gain more muscle. Then from the free one, it'll go to, here is a $30 quick 1 month program to substantially increase muscle mass with nutrition and with a weight plan. Then maybe the third one could be, here is a 1,000 3-month coaching program where I work with you one-on-one and we build everything. You don't want to just go from YouTube video to $1,000 coaching program. That can work in some cases, but for most cases, you want to have an ascension funnel or a continuous flow where the lead starts somewhere, then they go somewhere else, and then eventually you get them to the high ticket back-end offer. That's where a lot of the money ends up actually being made and the highest profitability is made as well. Now, we've seen this sequence triple conversion rates compared to asking for the sale immediately. And the psychological momentum is definitely undeniable. Actually, I would say that if you're just getting started and you don't know what to do in terms of a quick free micro commitment, I think quiz funnels are a really good way to start. Quiz funnels are converting so effectively in 2025. You can create multiple small commitments before presenting an offer. And actually, if you use AI, you can take the answers they give you from the quiz and actually use that to create a sort of custom plan for them or custom offer for them that can help initiate them into the second phase, and you can maybe charge a little bit for that as well. But that moves me over to the second last psychological trick, and that's number 7, the contrast effect. We don't judge options on isolation, we compare them to what's immediately available. And you can implement this through side-by-side pricing comparisons with competitors, showing the cost of inaction versus your solution, and maybe contrasting, do-it-yourself approaches with a completely done-for-you service. So actually, an example could be one of our e-commerce clients increased their average order value by 42% just by adding a premium version of their product that few people bought, but that made their standard offering look like an absolute steal. The contrast effect isn't about tricking anyone, it's about providing appropriate context for decision making. And that brings me to the final and 8th point and trick, and that is the Zeigarnik effect. I hope I said that correct. But these are basically the idea that open loops create cognitive tension that the human mind desperately seeks to resolve. One way you could implement this is by creating sequential content that promises a key revelation, or maybe using phrases like, and wait until you see what happens next, or teasing valuable information that will be revealed later. Now, we all watch movies, we all love the Avengers and Marvel, and guess what a trailer is? It is just that. A trailer wants you to go to the cinema and check that out. And this is also the reason why Netflix shows end on cliffhangers and why the most engaging email sequences open loops that the next email closes while opening new ones. In fact, I'm going to share a bonus technique that might be more powerful than all of these combined, but only after we cover our bonus. And this brings me to the actual bonus psychological technique you can use, and that is the halo effect. Now, first impressions don't just matter. They color everything that follows. I mean, seriously, your prospect will subconsciously judge your entire business based on their first touch point with your brand. And this is why I tell people your funnel has to look amazing. Your thank you page, once they've booked in, that is, in my opinion, more important than the landing page, because that's where they get all the touch points with you. And then the onboarding experience, oh my God, that is so critical. These touch points, when the client feels like they know you and they can humanize you and they get value from you and they enjoy hearing you speak, that is so important. And that's when you just want them to keep, and that's when they want to just keep coming back for more and more, and they're more excited to work with you and give you their money, and eventually you have so many people giving you money, you just don't know what to do with it. So you can reach that by optimizing some critical first impressions. And that could be things like your landing page design quality, the first 10 seconds of your VSL needs to be very important. Your email subject lines and headers need to be very important so people actually click on those. And of course, the thumbnail images you use for YouTube videos, but also for your VSL, your thank you videos, your onboarding videos. You want them to actually watch these things and be engaged along the whole way. And it gets me thinking, when our agency redesigned a client's webinar registration page with premium visuals while keeping the exact same content, conversions jumped like 20% overnight. And that's the halo effect in action. So these 8 psychological principles aren't manipulative tactics. They're the fundamental operating system of human decision making. The most ethical thing you can do is understand how your customers actually make decisions, not how you wish they would. So use these principles responsibly, test them systematically, and watch your conversion rates transform and hopefully, double, 3x your business, maybe 10x, who knows. Now, I'm curious, which of these principles are you already using in your business, and which one will you implement this week? Remember, watching these videos are useless if you don't take action. So tell me which one you're going to try implementing and put it down in the comment below. And if this video delivered any real value to you, please smash that like button to help more entrepreneurs discover these strategies, and hit the subscribe plus the notification bell if you're serious about mastering the psychology of high converting funnels or scaling your business past 100K a month, just like I did. I am giving you all the tips and tricks I learned along my journey and my experience. Oh, and here's another thing. If you want me to audit your current funnel using these exact principles, click the link in the description to apply for a personalized conversion breakdown session. All right, with that being said, for daily conversion tactics and behind the scenes case studies, please follow me on Instagram, MazenFazil1. And for this video too, any business owner that you may know who's still relying on hope as a strategy instead of psychology. But with that being said, let's build together, let's build businesses together, and let's understand what truly drives human decisions. You've got this, I believe in you. So stop wasting your time watching my dreams and go make your dreams become a reality. I will see you in the next one.